What's up? I'm back and I'm getting at you, just doing a little freestyle just to touch bases with you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have a topic picked out, but kind of a little bit. I wanted to talk about, getting along with some communication out here and how communication is the window inside of your mind to others, so we can actually feel what another person is feeling and kind of get a feel for the direction that their energy is being put towards. So that way we can build something constructively. And the reason that is coming up to me right now, there's a couple of reasons. Well, the mix that we do called Bars, Sweat, and Years um, is an awesome mix, which is designed to help give underground artists a little bit of a buzz along with what we're doing at the same time. And the way that that happens is from an organic type of connection where the individual, as I'm networking my music and things like that, then the people will reach out, and that will tend to be the artist that I will gravitate towards to talk to, which saves a lot of time because I'm not like a playlist curator or anything like that. I'm actually an artist. So, no, I don't have time to just click through everybody's music and say, hey, I think this is a good selection for the mix. However, when a person does reach out and realize that it's actually a person on the other end of the computer that's spending investing their time to network and make a connection with others, that will tend to be the person that I look into. Sometimes they have music and they are an artist, and sometimes they're just getting started. Sometimes they're just someone who likes to listen to music. But either way, it comes from the connection of communication, and that kind of keeps things natural, organic, and a little bit more efficient on time. And also, one like today, somebody connected with me and was communicating about what they saw in the description box and everything, which where I put all the credits. And some of the information will be there and some of it won't. And I have an answer for you for that. And that's because as I reach out to artists, some of them provide all their information and the others don't. So when I ask them which hashtag, or is there another page or a site or anything you would like people to be directed to, sometimes I don't get an answer. And that's very frustrating, but I do what I can at that point. You know what I mean? The mix is already done. It leaves my hand to a DJ. I'm not the one that's mixing it. So, I get back on it and do hosting on it and things like that. So that way I also say the artist's name, things like that, to introduce them and let the listener know who they are indeed listening to at that moment. And so yeah, so communication is key. And so if I don't hear from the artist after the mix drops and stuff, I kind of wonder what they're thinking. Did they forget what we spoke about? Did they ever see the messages that I sent back to them? Things like that, because indeed I do intend to put all your information in that mix so people can follow you, but I can't do that without knowing what's the best avenue to use for you. So I need that from you. So communication is everything. And communication on another level, we can't hold on to the negativity that could be projected or created in someone's own mind, if they're not communicating to get the facts across, to find out what's going on. And I feel that sometimes when people have problems communicating, they can fester bad feelings over in their own corner and start to make up a narrative and run with it. Possibly, like I said, did they forget the details of what we discussed? Everything has always been above board and, purely honest in any step of the process. I don't like people to feel like they're left out of anything. And that's with everything in my life. It's not just with putting the project together. I would like, I like to make plans. I'm not very sporadic in these days. I try to hold a little bit of spontaneity in my life, but I can't afford to be that sporadic. So things are very planned out. I think this is probably some of the biggest points of spontaneity I get to have in a day these days, is getting up here and just thinking, hey, I want to say something real quick that I thought about. And I think that maybe this will be a good video to make, or just a feeling, a sentiment or something like that to share, but yeah, I mean, never to get a misconception that someone's not just smiling in your face and trying to take advantage of you. Things like that. Communication is key, especially in long-term relationships of any sort, between family or friends. It doesn't matter. a spouse, so it doesn't matter. Communication will always be key. You know what I mean? And if you hold those things inside, it will never get resolved, and they need to be brought to the surface. If you feel something is not getting handled properly, don't feel awkward or bad about talking to the individual. Speak up. We're trying to do some things, and a lot of the time, all those things are positive things that we're trying to make happen. The energy we're putting out is positive, or we like to be like that to be received and perceived as positive, as the actions are genuine, as we're trying to move forward and build something, be constructive, build something worth the time and effort for not just ourselves, but for everyone, because it's not about just ourselves, it's the big picture. And so, yes, I am one of those type of people where I don't think it's all about me. I like to try to go against the programming and see the big picture, even though the eyes are kind of programmed and trained to hone in on a certain focal point, and then a peripheral vision kind of fills in the image. But I like to try to step back as much as I can, like a speed reader, and see everything at once. You know what I mean? So I try to slow myself down. No, I'm not perfect. I'm a human being, not a robot, but I just try my best. And I just want to continue to bring those good feelings, continue to grow a network of awesome people, and people that, like to build, people that like to take chances like me, and that can do something that's still there for the love, so my passion doesn't die. And I like to communicate that too. One of my teachers back in the days, he taught me about how an artist keeps their passion, and that's because you have two sides of your creative force to make a living. One is the full-on creative child, and the other one is the adult, and that principle actually exists in all points of your life, the adult and the child. But to satisfy the child, you must always work on something that brings you joy, something that you love to do and express, freely. And then the professional one is the adult, which pays the bills, which is meeting the client halfway, the client in music being the public or other artists, things like that. So the material will be geared towards more what the public would like, or what an artist is trying to accomplish, and see if we can merge that together and make something great. And then the child is just free. It's your baby, it's your golden, it's your baby, it's your golden egg that you know what I mean, just, it's precious to you. So that's the way, and you never stop doing that, even though the difference between, so you'll know the difference between a child and the adult. So you never stop doing what you need to do, but you do what you love to do always. And so when it comes to the Bar Sweat and Years mix, it's not for sale. It's free. You can download it. It's made to be shared and circulated to help build a buzz for the individuals that took the time to connect with us, or that have been down with us, because we do have mixes that have our inner circle fam on it too. But we also like to throw in other artists that we may not have heard of before, or that a lot of people haven't heard of. An artist could be awesome, and we know what that feels like because we're in that grind too. We're in the trenches with you. So we look at that and say, oh man, this person's got flavor. Why don't we throw them in the mix? You know what I'm saying? See if we can get them a little bit more of a buzz. If we're getting a little bit of traction, nice that someone else can come along. I feel like that love is gone. We used to have that love back in the days. It's very organic and connected. And I feel that we're human beings, so we need to connect. You know what I'm saying? There is no separation anyway. So we're all just rearranged in different ways, just interpreting the frequencies. We're like a big tuning fork within the Roy G. Biv spectrum that can get with all those tones and frequencies. So, of course, over here, we keeps that high as possible. And so, yeah, man, just want to extend that love back out to the scene, or scene, right? It's like very limited and controlled these days, but trying to reestablish that organic push and connectivity between the streets and the people and all that stuff. So you can hear artists that you never heard before that are cool, that you like to play, and you can hear the mainstream artists that you like to play. You know what I mean? But you won't just get a streamlined, controlled version of either field. Feel me? Like, so that way it's your choice as a human being to just say, hey, this sounds cool, a little bit more of that. You know what I mean? So I'm just doing my part to do a little bit more of that. And I'm happy to say that the Bar Sweat and Years mix #1 has a little bit over, I say closer to 500 plays between YouTube and SoundCloud. And peace to all the artists that are on there. If you haven't heard that one, please go check that out. And Bar Sweat in Years 2 has almost 600 plays on SoundCloud and a little over, I think like 170 or 150 or somewhere in there. So we're nearing like the 700 mark altogether with those mixes, and that's where you can find them on SoundCloud and YouTube, primarily because, like I said, it's not something that am trying to benefit from, but I'm just trying to showcase so people can get with it, get with the feeling. And there's Bar Sweat in Years 3 as well, and that one has been building traction alone on its own in an organic way. On YouTube, it's got like 122 plays, but definitely go check that out. Get with all the artists, look them up in the search. Try to find them. Like I said, I do my best, but sometimes I just don't get an answer, which is strange. I don't understand, but I keep on going with the good feeling. I hope you'll know that I'm genuine and that I do love you and not just smiling in your face and doing things behind your back. This is all about being organic and genuine. So definitely, if you're seeing the video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, help me break the algorithm so I can get out there and buzz, so it's not just about me trying to bring a whole lot of good energy along with me. And check out all the projects all over social media, catch up with me, and until next time, I love y'all. Peace. Communications is all.